The history of human flight. Early dreams and myths. Human fascination with flight dates back centuries, reflected in myths and legends across various cultures. One of the earliest stories is that of Icarus from Greek mythology, who, with wings made of feathers and wax, flew too close to the sun, causing his wings to melt. These tales highlighted the deep human desire to conquer the skies, long before technology made this a reality. The Age of Experimentation, the 15th–18th century. The first serious attempts at flight came during the Renaissance. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452–1519, is perhaps the most famous early pioneer, sketching designs for flying machines and studying bird flight. His helicopter and glider designs were remarkably advanced for his time, though none were constructed during his life. In the 17th and 18th centuries, hot air balloons began to take shape. The Montgolfier brothers, Joseph Michel and Jacques Etienne, are credited with inventing the first successful hot air balloon flight in 1782. The first manned flight took place in 1783, when Jean-François Pilatre de Rosier and François Laurent d'Arlandes flew in a balloon over Paris, marking a significant milestone in human flight. The development of gliders and powered flight. Throughout the 19th century, aviation experiments continued, with many inventors and engineers attempting to create gliders, aircraft without engines. Otto Lilienthal, a German aviation pioneer in the late 1800s, made hundreds of successful glider flights, inspiring future aviators. However, it was clear that powered flight was the next frontier. The Wright brothers, the first powered flight. On December 17, 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright made history in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, when they successfully flew the Wright Flyer, the first heavier-than-air, powered flight. Orville piloted the first flight, which lasted 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. This achievement laid the foundation for modern aviation, proving that human flight could be powered and controlled. Advancements in aviation, the early 20th century. After the Wright brothers' success, aviation technology progressed rapidly. In 1909, Louis Blériot became the first person to fly across the English Channel, demonstrating the practicality of powered flight. The First World War, 1914–1918, accelerated advancements in aircraft design, with airplanes being used for reconnaissance, bombing, and dogfighting. The Golden Age of Flight, the 1920s to 1930s. The interwar period saw an explosion of aviation milestones. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh made the first solo, non-stop transatlantic flight in the spirit of St. Louis, traveling from New York to Paris. This achievement solidified the idea of air travel as a viable mode of long-distance transportation. In the 1930s, commercial airliners began to take to the skies, making air travel more accessible to the public. World War II and the Jet Age. World War II, 1939–1945, again advanced aviation technology, introducing faster, more powerful aircraft. The jet engine was developed and mass-produced during the war, leading to the first jet-powered aircraft, like the Messerschmitt Me 262. After the war, the jet age began. In 1947, Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier in the Bell X-1, proving that aircraft could travel faster than the speed of sound. This opened the door for the development of supersonic jets. The space age, from flight to space. The quest for flight didn't stop at the Earth's atmosphere. In 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human to travel into space aboard Vostok 1, marking the beginning of the space age. A few years later, in 1969, the Apollo 11 mission successfully landed humans on the Moon, with Neil Armstrong becoming the first person to walk on its surface. Modern aviation, supersonic and commercial flight. In the late 20th century, commercial aviation became a mainstream mode of travel. Iconic aircraft like the Concorde offered supersonic passenger flights, and massive jetliners like the Boeing 747 made long-distance air travel more affordable and accessible to the masses. However, the Concorde was retired in 2003 due to various factors, including high operational costs and concerns over environmental impact. The future of human flight. Looking to the future, aviation continues to evolve. New technologies like electric aircraft, vertical takeoff and landing (VTOL) vehicles, and hypersonic flight promised to revolutionize air travel. The concept of commercial space travel, led by private companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic, is now becoming a reality. These companies aim to take tourists into space, offering suborbital flights that could eventually pave the way for space tourism and possibly even colonization of other planets. Conclusion. The history of human flight is a testament to human ingenuity, perseverance, and the desire to conquer the skies. From early myths and experimental gliders to modern jets and space travel, the journey of flight has transformed the world. As technology continues to advance, the future promises even greater innovations, ensuring that flight will remain one of humanity's greatest achievements.